Hello, this is Positive Vibes Enterprise. I am Tom Goodwin. This is Michelle Ronquillo.
Hi, everybody.
And the subject today is spiritual integrity.
Yes, integrity is doing the right thing when no one's looking.
And a lot of times people don't have a clear sense of boundaries, personal boundaries, and they don't have the strength to maintain their own boundaries well enough. And they can be, they can have their boundaries invaded by people that try to manipulate them and try to tell them what they're good at and what they're bad at and all kinds of things, and try to control them. And the main thing you have to, in this world, you got to be strong. You got to be able to stand up for yourself. And the things that tend to weaken you, like drugs or delusions, or things that put you in some kind of blissed out state in which you're not grounded in reality enough. And when you get weakened, then people can mess up your programming. And if you don't have a clear sense of who you are, it's easy for other people to say, this is who you are, and to take advantage of you.
Yeah, in understanding who you are, it's important that no matter what anyone says, it's not going to peer pressure you into making them happy. You become like stretched when you're trying to make everyone happy, and not standing up for who you are, what you know is good for you. It goes into that type of thing. It's okay to say no. If it's going to drain your energies and it's going to take you away from what is right for you, healthy, bettering your life, yes, say no. I mean, like, even if it's a relative, I mean, whatever is going to hurt you, you need to stand up for. You need to know how to take care of yourself and love yourself in those moments, that it builds confidence, that it builds that character inside of you saying, hey, I'm not going to put up with anything. I'm going to make sure that what I need, I take in, and anything else that is not good for me, I will push away.
And it's so important that you, if you have visions, if you have dreams, if you have creativity or whatever, that you test your limit, that you see what you're good at, and if you feel like you want to do something, then try it.
Yes.
And experiment with it and push yourself in that area and see what results you get. Because you have to push your limits in this world in order to know what you're good at and what you're not good at. And that's why, I mean, in our hedonistic society, a lot of times people don't push themselves hard enough. There's so many things that work against people developing the strength to get the most out of themselves. We have so much in the direction of drug-like foods and all kinds of decadence and hedonism and all kinds of stuff that tend to make people get lazy or not really. They get to the point where work is too difficult, work is too rough.
Yeah.
And then how can you get any vision of what you want to do in this world? How can you achieve any of that if you can't handle the difficulty that comes with taking on the challenges that you will run into when you are attempting to, find your place among all the competition that's out there? Because whenever you're trying to get a place in this world, there are a whole lot of other people that want that place. And you got to be good enough to fit in the group that makes it in a particular area, that is able to be, make a living or achieve quite a bit in a particular area. And that takes pushing yourself. And when my spiritual training and all is all geared to getting more out of yourself spiritually, making the most of yourself, and not being afraid to try things. Because the thing is, you don't know if you're good at something if you don't put yourself in the line. Yep. And just jump into something and start doing it. Creativity is a messy process, but you just have to go in and make a mess and keep making a mess until the mess turns into something that people like.
Yeah, exactly. And trusting that the fact that unknown is change. Change is hard for people. They get into the creature of habit type of things and going to work, coming home, and doing the same old routine. to push yourself, you have to push into the unknown. You have to reach out and actually do the actions. Like Tom said, it's make or break. It is literally coming into the feelings of what you know needs to be changed and then actually doing something towards it. Little goals. Start small, whatever it takes, but move into a change of habit every day. Sometimes I tell people that it's even good when you sleep different patterns. You know, you might wake up a little bit earlier or go to bed a little bit later, but anything that's pushing the unknown and pushing the change of your direction and that creativity is going to lead you into that building that spiritual enhancement of, you know, being true to yourself with integrity, not relying on someone else to tell you if you need to do something. Just literally know inside yourself that those thoughts and those emotions need to be worked out.
And that one of the things is when you want to achieve something, it takes time and it takes doing things little by little, day by day. And sometimes you have to, in order to get through crisis situations, you have to focus on getting through minute by minute.
Yes, and breath by breath.
Yeah, and you got to be able to just hang in there and keep at it and be persistent over time. And it's like a marathon trainer or anybody that's trying to achieve something. It takes persistence in a program and a schedule that you keep working at, getting better and better at it. We live in an age that has too much of this instant gratification where people need things immediately. Where a lot of people feel entitled that they should get things without even really working hard at them. It's almost like, my self-esteem will be hurt. They're so afraid that people will, they just can't handle failure. But the thing is, you have to understand failure is part of life and you learn from your mistakes. So if you fail, you say, well, I'll try something different, and I'll try this, and I'll try that. And then as you do it more and more, you're going to fail less and less. When it comes to quantity of failure, you may make smaller failures, but as you get better, you get more refined in what you're doing. The failures will get tinier and tinier, and your standards will get higher and higher, and you will get better and better.
Yes, and like an athlete or like someone that is starting a new behavior or characteristic in their life, you literally cannot beat yourself up on these failures. You need to push again and again and keep going until it gets there, because that's how you learn. That's how you grow. When you ride a bicycle, you have to have the training wheels first and then you take them off because you have balance. It's the same thing even in healing, and I am a testimony of that. I just recently got in a car accident and I had to literally have my body like a plant, just healing and letting it heal like a plant. And sometimes it can get so frustrating because you want to do something and you can only go so far, get it done, be confident in yourself, and then keep going at it. Do not give up. Keep motivating yourself in any way. That's how you beat depression. That's how you come in out of anxiety, is understanding that spiritual integrity of who you are and what you can do inside you.
And you have to avoid belief systems that say that perfection is possible.
Yeah.
Because the thing you have to understand is that you can always improve, that you're never going to get to a point where you can stop and say, I got it all together. And that's one of the problems we have in this world, is people do not understand that this world is meant to be imperfect, because that's what makes people have to constantly work and strive. And
you get to the top of something and you start.
There's no more point in life if you don't have a purpose that allows one to keep improving. There's supposed to be mystery to life. It's not supposed to get to the point where you know everything and there's no more mystery. Yeah. And that's the problem with a lot of this spiritual beliefs that circulate in this world. they think perfection is possible, and then they think some kind of bliss-like state is sort of like some kind of perfection state.
And we're always learning.
And the thing is, that's what gets people on drugs and think, because they're trying to get into some kind of perfect state, which is not, which is just, that's the world of fantasy. That's the world of delusions when you think perfection's possible. I've developed all kinds of spiritual stuff in my lifetime, and it's been trial and error, and it's never been perfection. It's always been perfecting it more and more, but never reaching a perfection, trying to get it to the point that it's gonna do some good in this world, that it's good enough that it can make a difference in this world. And that's all you want, is to be able to have something that can make a difference in this world, and moving in a more positive direction.
And involvement. You know, there's always change. There's always growth. That's what keeps everything so fresh, is that everything is always constantly moving and changing. So why logically wouldn't you as well? You would need to move and change and grow and keep moving and changing and growing. And it goes into those sayings of, you are not the same person you were even 3 months ago or a month ago that you are now, because your perceptions and your thoughts have changed. And once you change your thoughts, then you begin to change. So understanding the integrity of self and what are valuable, what is that rooted answer for yourself that will work the best in bettering yourself, in evolving yourself, in grabbing more knowledge, and have an open mind. And that's the most important part right there, is the open-mindedness, to let go of ego, let go of arrogance, and be okay with being wrong. It's okay.
And a lot of the times, people that invade other people's boundaries and push other people around have an overly self-righteous attitude, that they always know everything and so forth, and they try to tell you that. And if you believe that somebody can have their act together and can know all this stuff so well and so much better than you, then you're subject to be bullied and picked on and so forth by somebody. And that's the problem with so many of the belief systems circulating in this world. They tend to be autocratic, from perfect sources. And that is where you get into trouble, because then people start believing there are perfect sources, and then some people believe they are the perfect source, and then they start bullying people into trying to accept that they know everything.
Yeah, and if anything of your belief system or rooted ways that you get a spiritual uplift, it literally takes the focus off of you evolving and focus on someone's me. That should be a warning sign right there. Because anything that takes your focus off the universe, off the unity of you and what you need to do logically and responsibly and spiritually and emotionally, and it doesn't lead to your benefits of self-involvement, watch out. Because there's so many people that are getting taken advantage of and literally thinking that that way is right, when in fact it's self-destruction. And it's literally, we want people with independent thoughts, and they are leaders of their own inner essence, helping and evolving with everyone else, not some zombie type of energies that just go blindly following. That doesn't get you anywhere.
And that's what happens with cults, is they have that blind following with an autocratic leader. And the truth is that when you start looking at this new religion that seems like a cult, you have to look at some of the old religions too that have that superior attitude, that they are so much better than the other competition out there. And
they need to be in unity of everything that goes together.
So they think they're so much better, but they're not allowed to be questioned. In other words, if you're so much better, why are you so much better? Why are your beliefs better than the competition? In other words, you just take it on blind faith, they say. Well, that's what cults want you to do. Take things on blind faith and be brainwashed. That's what cults are like. And you'll find that a lot of traditional religions have cult-like energy. They're just big enough that you don't notice it much. When you have a religion that has less population to it, then they don't have as many people in their group that can interrelate, then it becomes more obvious they're a cult. And then when they're tinier, of course, they can get more extreme when they're tiny.
So I think that the most important part is understanding who you are, knowing what works for you the best, and not allowing anyone to distract you on your mission. Your goal is to evolve yourself, better yourself, motivate others by the examples that you do. The motivations that you bring in will overflow, and the things that you work on will become bigger.
And focusing on a healthy lifestyle, avoiding drug-like things that weaken and handicap you. Because how can you achieve a lot in this world if you handicap yourself by not eating healthy enough, or by taking drugs or other things?
That make you go in a delusional
and then you start playing the victim and all. But the thing is, I cannot see how I can give you much credence as a victim when you are doing it to yourself by handicapping yourself, so you cannot be as effective as you need to be. And the thing in this world is, you have to be strong enough to take care of yourself and protect yourself from the energies around you. You have to be competent spiritually in a world that has a lot of problems. And that's what I'm all about, is trying to get people to get more out of themselves, to contribute more in the real world, and to be more competent in the real world, so that they don't get picked on and victimized. And of course, again, as I say, they get victimized because they make themselves vulnerable by their habits. If you train yourself not to be a victim, you do very well in this world spiritually.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, this is Positive Vibes Enterprise. The subject has been spiritual integrity, which has to do with knowing your boundaries and standing up for your individual abilities and what you can contribute, and not letting others bully you around or upset your belief in yourself,
or beat your confidence in what you're doing. If you're beating to your own drum and you need that confidence, find it in you, and find it in where you need to plug in to get that confidence, to motivate yourself to be a better person.
And confidence comes from doing the actions and getting results.
Yes, exactly. In a reality-based world. Thank you so much. Subscribe, and we will see you next time.
We appreciate you watching, and spread the word of mouth, because we're not getting enough subscribers, and we're really, really good as I see it. And we do need to have a new spiritual movement in this world started. And we need as many people in it as we can. We're not into keeping people out of our organization, our focus. We want more people in. We're not trying to hog the spotlight or anything like that. Of course, I just trust in my talent and abilities.
Yes, we walk what we talk and talk what we walk.
So in other words, we don't worry about somebody else bringing talent and outshining us, because we know we will shine in the way that is important to us. So we want more people to shine with us.
Yeah, shine with us.
That's what we want. We want a team, and want the team to keep growing and growing. We're not into an autocratic ruler in this organization.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.